Infinite Nikki just released a sudden surprise collab with Stardew Valley, which is crazy. So I thought we could react to the trailer, which is super short, it's just a minute. And after that, I'll tell my thoughts about whatever they talk about on the trailer and what I think and what I expect from this collab, which is super exciting. In case you didn't follow me before this Infinite Nikki content being released, I used to be a Stardew Valley channel for a while. I was Animal Crossing New Horizons, and then I moved on to Stardew Valley, then I moved on to Genshin, and now I moved on to Infinite Nikki. But yeah, I love Stardew Valley. I'm a hardcore player. I've played so many times. I am pretty hyped about it. Let's watch the trailer first and then I'll share my thoughts later. Okay, Junimos gardening. I imagine it's probably going to be related to the house update. Oh, the music is so nostalgic, isn't it? Oh my god. Oh, there's a mega crop. Maybe that's a sneaky peek that maybe we'll get some mega crops on our house as well. Oh, his 3D. The Junimos are 3D. I would expect them to be 2D, almost like a Gifty. Interesting. Oh, no way. Wait, is that it? Oh no, there's a little bit more. It's funny though that they did this because I've done that as well with Animal Crossing. I made the Infinite Nikki logo with like a crossover with Animal Crossing logo. So it's funny to see that they did here with Stardew as well. That's why I was laughing, sorry. Let's see the last bit about it. Ah, that's cute. Interesting. So the Junimos would be 3-dimensional. It's a little bit odd, like the art style for like trying to translate pixel art to 3D. It's definitely not easy. It's giving like Octopath Traveler vibes a little bit for me, which is very, very fun to see. I didn't expect that. Yeah, it's almost like a Minecraft / Octopath Traveler vibe that I get from this 3D pixel art Junimo. Obviously, I love pixel art, so it's gonna be cool if we get some pixel art style inspired items. Maybe that's what the futuristic outfit's gonna be. So since the trailer is short, I decided before we continue with my thoughts, I'll be doing some Stardew Valley cosplays in Infinite Nikki. I think that's a fun idea to put on the background of the video while we chat about it. And I'll also share the die codes for all the cosplays if you want to use those on your game as well. So before we move on, I also want to point out the description of the video, which is written the following. Cozy surprises await you and adventure is in the air. Prepare your senses for a harvest of wonders. The first seeds of magic have already been sown. Infinite Nikki version 1.9 music season launches globally on September 1st. So a lot of information here, maybe even more than the trailer. First, they are talking about prepare your senses for harvest. So I think we can assume that the Stardew Valley collab will be about the gardening that we'll get in our house and islands. And they also talk about the first seeds of magic. So maybe that's also relating to that as well. In case you don't know, September 1st, or for most of the world, September 2nd, will be the house update or update 1.9. In this update, we'll get a whole island and house to fully decorate and fully customize. We'll be able to build walls and floorings from the ground, terraform, and even more amazing features will be coming. And if you want to know more about that, if you're kind of like out of the loop, I have tons of videos about the house already where I covered everything we know about it. I'll link down below on the pinned comments if you want to watch those, but we got a lot of new stuff. One of the new stuffs is gardening. So I think Stardew Valley collab will most probably be about gardening. But what I thought it was interesting here is that they say Infinite Nikki version 1.9 is called music season, which is really interesting to me. So the next update will be music themed. And I think that makes a lot of sense with a Stardew Valley collab as well. So maybe it's not even that much focus on the gardening, but maybe we'll get this Stardew Valley music to play in our island. It could be that simple, you know, it could be just like a bunch of the Stardew Valley soundtrack songs to play in our house, or maybe Eric Baron could even like maybe make a new background music for Infinite Nikki. I think that's like a little bit more far-fetched, but it's a possibility. In case you don't know, Stardew Valley was developed by one single person, Eric Baron. He's an amazing developer. He does really quality content for us over the years for free, and I'm pretty confident that he wouldn't accept to do a collab without doing his best. So the fact that he accepted a collab with Infinite Nikki means we can expect something really high quality and well done, even if it's something simple as just like one song or the ability to play Stardew Valley songs in the game. Also, Eric Baron not only developed the whole game, but he also did the whole soundtrack for his game as well. So he's very passionate about music, or at least it looks like he is to my point of view. So I guess what this collab could mean is, first, it could be about music, like I just mentioned. We could get some soundtracks to play on our island. Maybe Eric could even be doing like a special little song for Infinite Nikki, which would be amazing. Imagine like on the login screen, we have a nostalgic Eric Baron song, you know, that would be amazing. But although I think that's a little bit too much, they'll probably not do this. It's just my wishful thinking. But also, of course, we have a lot of the Junimos on the trailer, so I think we can also assume that the collab will be in some way or other about the gardening. So in update 1.9, we'll get house builds, we'll get gardening, and we'll also get cooking. So we'll talk about that as well. For gardening, we could potentially get Junimos to help with the gathering crops in our islands. We could have maybe, since the Junimos are 3D, maybe we can pet them as well if they are implemented in the game. But initially, what I would imagine the best way to implement Junimos in Infinite Nikki would be make them replace the gifties. You know, the gifties are an event that happens every single update, and they are two-dimensional little stickers that you need to search through the places. So maybe Junimos could be the house and islands stickers, you know, they could be the gifties of our island. That would be really cute, and honestly, it's not too far-fetched because the Sea of Stars opens the possibilities to connect with multiple worlds and multiple universes and multiple timelines. So why not connect to Stardew Valley universe? And I would love to have, of course, the gifties as help us all around the island as well. But I don't know if they're gonna actually implement that, because on the trailer, the three-dimensional Junimo does look like CG and not an actual 3D model, if that makes sense. It's a little bit hard to explain, but it doesn't look like it's actually modeled to be inside the game. What I think it's interesting, though, that I wanted to point out is that despite the trailer being really short, they do give a lot of focus on the giant crop. So in Stardew Valley, if you haven't played that, is a farming game with mechanics, but one of the mechanics is that when you plant 9 crops of the same type together, they have a chance of becoming a giant crop. So I don't know if maybe we'll get giant crops in Infinite Nikki as well. That would be amazing. They did mention we'll have some special magical flower seeds, so maybe that's what they're kind of like sneak peeking about. Like maybe if we plant tons of the same flower together, we'll get the gigantic flower. That will be amazing, especially for fairy houses and fairy island builds. Having giant flowers would be crazy. Like that will be a dream for me personally. And of course, we'll also get the cooking ability in update 1.9. And Stardew Valley also has cooking, and it has tons of recipes. I think it's like over 100 recipes in Stardew Valley. So I can see them doing this collab in a way where you can cook those Stardew Valley recipes in Infinite Nikki as well. So maybe we'll get some of the Stardew recipes in Infinite Nikki. Of course, most of them are just like real world, real life food, but still it's a nice reminder of Stardew Valley. I personally am very excited about that. And then we have 2 more things that they could do collab about, at least in my opinion, that are the more obvious ones, which would be maybe clothes. Someone on the comments said, I hope they put the mayor Lily shorts on the game. That would be hilarious. I don't think they're gonna do this, but please, Infold, if you ever watch this, please do it. It we are gonna love it. We all need the mayor shirts in the game. And of course, we could have some things like maybe like Abigail's outfit or Caroline's hair, you know? We can have like some items from the characters. I don't think the collab will be this detailed, but I sure hope so. That will be amazing. And the last thing that could be done, which is the building and furniture, we could get some of the Stardew Valley themed furniture, maybe even like a Junimo plushie to put in our house. We already know that we're gonna get tons of plushies for our house. They already mentioned that we can steal nice plushies for our own. So maybe we'll get a Junimo plushie, and honestly, just a Junimo plushie would be enough for me for a collab. I would love that. But because it's music themed and the trailer is a lot about gardening, I think we are safe to assume that we'll get the ability to play some Stardew Valley music on our islands and get some like giant crop, or maybe some Junimo help, or maybe some Junimo gifties. I feel like this collab is super exciting. It's a great start for the Infinite Nikki collabs. I know we had some collabs with like the Panda, Momo Cloak and all of that, but this time is like a collab with another game. And again, I'm sure that no matter how tiny or how big this collab will be, it will be done with love, because I'm 100% sure Eric Baron would not accept to do a collab unless he could direct it in some way or perfect it in some way. So I'm very excited. This is really good news. I cannot wait for future collabs as well. I would love to see what you guys would love as a collab. For me, I would adore if they did like anime collabs as well, like maybe Frieren, Dungeon Meshi. Like this Sunday, I'm gonna play Sword of Convallaria, which is a game that I've never played before, just because they have a Dungeon Meshi collab. So having like these kind of like anime series collab would be really cool for me. Witch Hat Atelier, which will get an anime soon and could totally have an outfit in Infinite Nikki, and also other games, of course, like Final Fantasy, for example, would be super cool. Kingdom Hearts, RPG games, maybe even like older games like Skyrim, for example, although it's hard to imagine that they would do that in Infinite Nikki. I would have like some wishful thinking that they would do that. So yeah, what would be collabs that you would love to see in Infinite Nikki? And are you hyped for Stardew Valley collab? Do you think that the things that I mentioned made sense, or do you think that they're gonna do something different? I would love to hear. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.
Ryan Little.